All right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome back to Tradeify Crypto. Today we have myself and we have Ayush, and we also have 1,400 people also subscribing to the channel. That's pretty cool because this week we have a 1K celebration giveaway week because we hit 1K and we're already at 1.4K. So that's pretty cool. Ayush, how are you doing today?
Doing great. Took a shot in Ethereum, and finally, it's my first trade after 3-4 weeks on Ethereum. So happy because we are back
nice. Yeah,
with the strength and weakness.
Good stuff. I'm gonna share. I'm gonna go straight into DX Trader here to see if I can find any interesting opportunities myself. Let me see. Let me get a overview of Bitcoin here. First of all, still, I mean, we're still pretty good. I mean, it's still looking pretty good here on the daily. It's still in a overall uptrend. By the way, for those of you joining, waiting for Dirk, we are going to have Dirk coming on the live stream in a bit, maybe within 30 minutes or so. And for those of you who do not know Dirk is a market veteran, been in the market for over 26 years now, and very big in the crypto space, and also he is a developer of trading indicators. So I think he's going to come on here today, talk about some of the indicators he has been created. I see that he's trending quite a lot on trading views indicator section as well, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, we're going to have him coming on soon. What do you think here on the Bitcoin, Ayush? Are you bullish or bearish here?
I think I'm actually waiting for a proper retracement for bulls. So Bitcoin actually is in a range after the opening, not pretty much nothing, but we saw that Ethereum was a weaker pair, as we discussed yesterday, that I like to go short if I see weakness in a pair. So closing below this support zone, converting into the resistance, and obviously a daily open. It's very early morning in my country, so took a really nice opportunity at 12 a.m. open because I saw price closing below the wicks support area, converting into resistance, and managed to take 1:1. And if we let me share my MMT screen as well quickly, because had really interesting thing there as well. Okay, I think it should be visible now. Okay, so like this was the idea that if you look at the TPO chart, we were below the opening, and also we had some volume bubbles coming in, big orders, but here it was showing that they might get absorbed, but orders got accepted. I think when we get the bearish closing below the bubble, indicating that they can accelerate the price and also can fill this wick, and went pretty much lower into the low volume node we had in this area. So yeah, it was a great trade after a long time on Ethereum, because I like to trade Ethereum because of the movement. But let's see, now I think we are going back into the support zone of higher time frame. So we might see some sort of retracement back into range, and also that we have closed below this vex on higher time frame, and also we have higher time frame resistance. On weekly, it almost looked like piano keys, expecting that we might tap this area at 2219 and continue higher after we tap support area on Bitcoin. So on Bitcoin, my support level is at 78,670. Then we can expect some bull continuation, or if we close below, then it can go much deeper. If we close below 78,670 and we get no reaction, then I think it can go easily till 73,000. So that's my idea for now on Ethereum and Bitcoin. Also, if we talk about Doge, instead of trading Doge, I actually took a trade on Ethereum, because Doge was not really doing anything it is same like Bitcoin only. So yeah, I think it was a win-win on Ethereum. I know it looks really bad on daily time frame. We are in a very bad range, but we have these support levels on daily time frame, which I'm going closely looking at. So if we get some sort of reaction, and also on daily time frame we have this wick. So yeah, and also it's very close to the area I marked on weekly. So expecting maybe reaction from here, or from here to for continuation for the upside.
Yeah, that makes sense. Let's switch over to my chart here. I'm going to look at, so we have, this is Bitcoin right now, and I'm thinking I'm going to enter a trade here for this session. And I'm seeing that we're hitting a support area right here. This is a support area that has been holding up quite nicely since Saturday when we broke above it. So we reclaimed this as a support on between Saturday and Sunday, and it's been holding as support ever since. I am, when I'm trading intraday, I'm the type of trader that I see resistance, I want to short, I see support, I want to go long, because to me a support level is going to be a support level until proven otherwise. Now the question is, this whole zone right here is potential area for a bounce, right? So I am thinking, okay, so we got the 1 hour and we have the 50-minute. Now the 1 hour is in that zone of interest. We have fairly strong momentum to the downside here on the 15-minute, and there's a few levels that I like here. Like for example, this area here is a potential buy zone. So now that I know that we are in the area of interest by this level on the hourly, what I can do is I can right click the level, click, I'm going to right click it, and then we have this tab which says visibility on intervals, and I can select current interval and above. So I'm only going to see this when I'm on the hourly or above. So if I go into the 50-minute, that level disappears, but I now have the at least the green level on here. And the same thing I can do with this one, because I want this one on only the lower time frame. So I can right click that one, click visibility on all intervals, and then click current interval and below. So if I go to 1 hour, I'm only going to see that level. I'm not going to see the green line. If I go to the 5-minute, I'm going to see the green line and not the bigger one. And I'm going to continue to mark out a few levels here that I like. And the lower boundary of this zone for a buy is going to be down here, and the upper boundary is going to be somewhere around that level. So this is the area that I'm watching right now. For potential buys. On the 15-minute, we're getting that wick right here on the 15-minute. Now, for potential targets, I'm looking to perhaps take this up into this region during the course of this stream. Going into the 5-minute, we obviously want to see some type of breakout structure right here. So we can see that we have a couple of highs here that I would like to be taken out. So the structure right now is we obviously have that low time frame range. We broke down, formed a downtrend, and I view that as one move. So for this trend to be truly broken, what we need to see here is a bounce up, perhaps a lower high, maybe a double bottom, stuff like that. If I get this type of structure, a double bottom, I'm probably going to be buying here, maybe buy that breakout and then ride the momentum up to this level right here. So we're talking a low time frame trade right here, and I'm going to prepare to calculate the position size on this. So let me see if that's going to be my entry. Something like that. Obviously, I don't want to creating a limit order, but if I buy a market here and we enter where do we want that stop loss? Now, preferably, I probably want that stop loss all the way below this whole level. So we give it a lot of room to run. So that would be 80,350. Put in a stop. That would be 80,350. That's going to be the stop loss level is going to be down here. And then the TP, I want that at 81,150, 59, I believe. Yeah, that's good. So how much am I going to be risking here? I'm going to be risking 1%. But that's the trade I'm looking at. I'm going to keep this window open. That means I'm just going to click buy, and I'm going to enter at market for these settings as soon as I see the confirmation I want. Now, if that becomes my entry, and then my stop loss is going to be somewhere around here, and then my TP up here, we're talking about a 1.6R, and I'm okay with that as long as it's above 1R. I'm happy with that. So that's the overall structure I'm looking at here. Now, one way we can do this as well is open a, I believe we should be able to open a multi-chart screen here where I can view the different time frames at the same time. Yeah, that's possible. So you can now see that it's the same chart. So we got the 1 minute above. And then we have another time frame below. So I want to look at the 15 minute. Make this a little bit bigger. It doesn't work. We got the 50 minute below, and then the 1 minute above. And this is a good way of looking at the behavior across all the time frames. And let's see if this is too small, but we can stick with the 1 hour, 1 minute here. And then we'll add the 5 minute to the right and 15 minute to the lower left. And then we'll keep this one at the 1 hour. So now we get a full sense of the whole market, and to get an idea of what's happening. So what we want, of course, is most of these time frames to align. And I'm going to click these three dots here and dock it to the right. So we're going to have that window to the very right here, make it smaller. So now this is all I need, right? Now I have all the time frames to see if they can potentially agree. Now the upper left corner, that's the execution time frame. And when I look at the upper right corner, that's going to be the 5 minute. I want that to confirm as well. So I can't see a breakup structure on only the 1 minute without seeing maybe a bullish engulfing candle on the 15 minute or a break above these highs on the 5 minute. Because if we add a trend line here, you can see that would be the trend line on the 1 minute, right? And I need to adjust it to the 15 minutes as well, to the 5 minutes. I can go over here and I can adjust it to the wick on the 5 minute. And I'm going to go in and change visibility on all intervals. You can get it across all intervals. I don't think I can see it here. It's only on that chart. But as you can see, before I'm actually adding it, it's visible on all the charts. So you can see the line is on all the charts. So you can kind of understand, okay, so if that trend line is broken on the 15 minute, it doesn't really mean much for the 5 minute. We want that high to get taken out. That would make sense on the 15 minutes as well. And on the 1 hour, we can actually add a horizontal level here by utilizing the 1 minute. This is pretty cool, right? So we're going to be placing the level on the 1 minute chart, but we're going to be utilizing the chart on the 1 hour. So here's the 1 hour, right? So I'm looking at the close of the last 1 hour candle. Okay, and it's going to be right here, which means it's going to be right here on the 1 minute. So that blue line the 1 minute. That means if the 1 minute comes above that level, that means we reclaim the close of the last hourly candle, which means the current hourly candle is bullish. That's something I'm looking at here, trying to get an understanding of what momentum is telling us across all of these 4 time frames. Right now, it's telling us that we're ready to go lower into the so we can maximize the chart here. This is pretty cool. We can use the lower right corner here. You have the maximize the chart. So if I click that one, I go back to the 4 chart view. If I click that one, you get the 1 hour. So we can look at this. We can see, okay, we're getting deeper into the zone here on the 1 hour. 5 minute is still momentum to the downside, no recovery. We got the 15 minute, still no recovery, a lot of momentum to the downside, and the 1 minute, obviously, as you can see, a clear downtrend. So we have a very clear structure across all of these different time frames. So yeah, let's just see if we can see it's a break of structure. All right. What are you thinking?
Yeah, this is the best feature on DXTrade where we can see all the time frames, and I also use it when I have to look at Ethereum and Bitcoin both, instead of doing everything on TradingView.
Yeah, it's not DXTrader. It's just that the fact that you have integrated TradingView into DXTrader, that's what makes it so good.
Yeah. I think someone is asking for you, Jonathan. I think there is some friend of yours in chat.
Okay. Okay. Well, there's a lot of people in here. All right. There's a lot of people in the comment section. Let me go through the comments. How many people do we have in here? I feel like we have a lot of people.
25.
Yeah, wow, we do have quite a lot of people. Nice. Well, welcome everyone. Happy to have you all in here. Okay, so let me go through the question. Can we see biggest crash in coming times? Yes, we can. When will the mobile app launch? There is talks about it. I can't confirm everything, but there's talks about the mobile app. Work is being done, I believe. We got Boris. Can you guys take a look at TRX in a 4 hour? I'm in a short curse what I used to think with his volume profile tool. Good question from our very own Boris. Maybe you can take a look at that, Ayush.
Yeah, I already prepared it for him that I'm not gonna go long unless we get some reaction below the value area low, because we got already reaction from the WEC and also low volume not and prices near value area low, and there is not enough confirmation for price to go lower. And you are talking about 4 hour, but I like to combine 4 hour with 15 minute. So let's go on 15 minute and see that. So now we can see we have not enough confirmation for price to go much lower and need more confirmation for bearish movement. So yeah, I'm not bearish for now, but the higher time frame looks bearish. The only thing is required here is the 4 hour candle should close below properly, and at 8 a.m. we might see a flush lower, because this wicks are going to act as resistance and also the point of control and value area low as well. So yeah, this is my view, and all because the opening candle already was really volatile and tapped into the low volume knot. So that's why I'm pretty much gonna wait for TRX. So yeah, that's my view on TRX. And let's go back to Bitcoin and Ethereum. So I'm looking at this support area on daily time frame, and I think we have same level on Ethereum as well. So I think we will see good sort of reaction when we tap the monthly open, which will happen soon, I guess. We don't really have to wait for it. I'll go long if when we tap this area. I'm not really ready for the bear movement now, because there is not enough confirmation for the bear movement. The only reaction we got was just from the monthly supply zone, which we discussed yesterday as well, from this support turning into resistance and getting reaction again. So on weekly, this is the support zone. Keep your eye, because I'm not saying that these levels are very much important to take a trade, but very important to keep your eye on. Let's say if you are selling from here, make sure to take a look at the wicks on weekly time frame to secure your profits. But I'm not bearish for now. I'll look for the continuation long, and I regret closing my trade at 1:1.19, but anyway, we'll get another one. And I think the best pair to go long is Bitcoin, not Ethereum. If you will try going long, so let me explain you guys that on maybe daily time frame.
I've just entered my first position here on Bitcoin. Just want to let you know that I am entering that first position. We're also going to have Dirk coming on in very soon, so just letting you know, Roman in the background, that we're going to have Dirk coming on very soon. So I just entered my first position here on Bitcoin. This is a 25% of my desired position, which means as soon as we have a break of structure here, I will be entering more. So basically, what would a break of structure look like? But we have the 20 and the 50 EMA here nicely fanned out. So you can see on the 1 minute prices hugging the 20 EMA here nicely. Let's make that one white so we can differentiate between them. Perfect. So that white line, that's the 20 EMA on the 1 minute. And we will wait and see if we get any break of structure here. We're probably going to have Dirk coming on very shortly. Guys, make sure to hit that like and let us know. Let's give him a warm welcome when he comes on. Yep, I'll make sure to hit that like. Okay, so first position here on Bitcoin. I like what I'm seeing. Like what I'm seeing right here. I'm gonna do a giveaway today as well, and because we're probably gonna get a lot of likes, a lot of views here today, we're gonna be initiating the first giveaway when we get 30 likes. Okay, guys, so that's the new level to hit today. 30 likes. At 30 likes, we're gonna be initiating the first giveaway, and I believe that's going to be a 25 two-step account, and then we're going to give away a one-step challenge as well.
And also by the end of this stream, we might expect 100 likes, because yesterday we had 60. Today we might go to 100.
Yeah, Ayush, what are you thinking?
So yeah, I'm just gonna wait for some proper reaction on Bitcoin, and also the trade you are in.
Am I muted? Wait, maybe. Wait. Okay, that was me. Sorry.
Yeah. So I'm pretty much waiting for proper reaction. As you guys can see, that I don't really like to sit from the top. Pretty much a continuation trader waiting for confirmation. So yeah, even over here, that I want price to give us some proper reaction on both pairs. But I think when we will tap, keep your eyes on monthly open at 2256, and I think we will surely get some reaction on Bitcoin as well when we tap the same area, or both pairs might tap into the same, not same, but the support area they have. And let me show you guys on 1 hour that why the strength and weakness is something which traders should use. You can see this low at Monday 11/26 10 a.m. candle, and the same candle on Bitcoin tapped right now, because it is a stronger pair for longs. So if you are planning longs, Bitcoin is something which can take profit in the left swing high first than Ethereum does, right? So if you are thinking to go long, make sure to understand that it is strong enough to give you the previous swing high or not, because I think Bitcoin is a very stronger pair from many weeks for longs, and strength and weakness is something which keeps on changing day by day, but not right now. From last 2-3 weeks, I can see that Bitcoin being strong for a long time and Ethereum being weak for the long time. So if we get some sort of small bearish retrace, I go short in Ethereum, and for continuation bull run, I go long in Bitcoin. That's what I'm following from the last 2-3 weeks. And talking about Doge, I still think that we can replicate the same thing which we have on Bitcoin. It is also going to tap the support area. We have many wicks in this level, so expecting bull continuation after we get some reaction on 1 hour. So right now we are just going lower. Let's see what we get near NY Open.
Okay, so I have my third position open on Bitcoin right now, as you can see. So I am now filled about 75% of the desired position, and you can see now that we are starting to get that breakup structure. This is the first 1 hour. This is the first 1 minute candle closing about the 1 minute 50. It made sense breaking below it and losing that one as support a while back. So I do feel like if we switch to the 1 hour here, it does feel like, you know, the 1 hour comes in, we have that wick, it's starting to, I like what I'm seeing here. So if we add the relative strength index here to the 1 hour, it is relatively low right here. So now obviously it's not way oversold, but it's lower than what it was when we hit this level in the past. It doesn't really tell us much, the RSI here on the 1 minute, really, the 1 hour. But if you look at perhaps the 15 minute, and we could add the RSI here. Now I want it to be, yeah, that's obviously better. And we start to see that we're potentially bottoming out here. It's not really telling us much here. Actually, the way the RSI is looking here is not really helping me much with the with this setup at all. By the way, guys, so let go into the comment section. I have added Dirk's YouTube channel to a pinned comment, so go into the comment section and check that one out. Let's make sure to give him a follow on YouTube if you haven't done so already. He shares a lot of good content, and he has recently, for those of you who like ICT, he actually created a really good ICT indicator, and I see that he just released a video 2 hours ago. So I'm actually going to go in. I'm gonna link that one. I'm gonna go in and okay, Dirk says link is not working for his YouTube, and we should use, wait, let's see. Apparently there is something wrong with the link I sent. It works now, he says. So it's the right link. Okay, he is ready to join, so I will just send him everything necessary, and then he's gonna come in. All right, okay, so let's go back to the 1 minute. Okay, so I really like what I'm seeing right here. We don't have any clear break here, but it does look pretty good. So as soon as I see a break above this level, I will enter the rest of that position, and I will limit my stops on this trade right here.
We have
What do you
30
think,
people
Aish?
watching us, but we have 24 likes only. Make sure to give us like, because at 30 we'll do giveaway.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely hit that like, and of course subscribe if you have not already. What's up, Initial Maverick? Hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing good today. Slow market today. Let's, you know what? I'm going to switch to, actually, I'm not going to switch to anything. I kind of need to keep monitoring Bitcoin right here. All right, so we see that we potentially could be breaking out here. Switching to the 5 minute, I like this, but still need to get that push a little bit higher on the 5 minute, I believe. Hey, so he disappeared. We were just gonna add Dirk, and then poof, he's gone. All right, he is back.
I cannot hear you guys.
Okay, he can't hear us.
Yeah.
I think you can remove him. I'll help him with the audio.
Mm-hmm.
I sent him and told him that it's probably something with the input and output thing.
Oh my God.
Can you hear that sound when
Yeah.
I'm raising my desk? Sounds like a spaceship. Yeah.
It sounds like a transformer.
Yeah. All right. So what's happening here on Bitcoin? Not much. What do you guys in the comment section? Are you in any trades right now? Let me know if there's anything you're watching. Let me know if there's anything you're watching in the comment section. Yeah, we can hear Dirk, but seems he needs to change his. Okay, weird. All right. No, I don't think he can hear us. Probably gonna tell us when he hears us. Okay, what do we have here? You can hear me now?
You.
Yeah, we can hear you.
A bit weird with the settings.
Yeah,
so
always.
yeah, but
all right,
hi everybody.
Hey Dirk, welcome. How's it going?
Thank you. Good to see you all.
Yeah, happy to have you on here.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
And congrats on your success on your YouTube channel. I see that you're above 7,000 subscribers now. It's really cool to see.
It's quite nice at the moment, yeah. So recently, the channel really has been picking up. So yeah, I'm of course happy.
You created one ICT video, and now you're.
Well, to be fair, before the ICT video, it was already picking up too. So
it was. It's very good videos, and I see that you're transitioning over into trading view, and I mean indicators, and I've seen some of the indicators you're creating, and they're really good. So looks really cool.
Thank you. Yeah, and I do most of the stuff now open source also, at least for the indicators, that I didn't invent. So something like Elliott wave or ICT or harmonic patterns, that's not Dirk Hartig. That has been there already well before me. So everything in that regards, I try to do open source. Today, actually, I published a new indicator, which is one of my own brainchilds, specifically for crypto trading, which I translated. I use a Python version of this for some of my trading bots. And I thought it might be nice, to translate this to to PineScript, so people out there can use that too, also for free, without the source code, that being said, but still can use it for free. And it's quite interesting what we see there at the moment, by the way, because right now we are seeing liquidation events for long positions in Bitcoin on Binance. So I'm waiting now. I'm waiting now for like the long liquidations to subside, and then would be good to see the first 50-minute candle after this being bullish, because that would be a long signal. The last trade, for example, I did here yesterday, which worked out beautifully. The day before also. So yeah, that's like this indicator looks like at open interest, which for Binance, for example, for the perpetual futures you can get on TradingView. For Forex and gold, sadly not. But allows you a little bit to see, not only based on volume and price, what is going on, but also like, hey, what is actually happening there in the markets? Are we seeing like long liquidations? Same can be true for short liquidations, obviously, as well. And it very often allows you to get into the market sooner than when you wait for actual trend confirmation first. So trend confirmation, for example, would have been when you see the greenish area here, which means nothing else that you have open interest rising. For those of you who don't know what open interest is, it just means like the amount of leveraged positions that are at a crypto exchange currently. And if that rises and the price rises at the same time, that's an indication, that we have a somewhat strong trend at the moment. But if you wait for this, you'll very often get into the markets quite late. So you would have gotten in here probably, still fine in this case, but like if you wait for the long liquidations that are over and then see like the first candle being bullish, then you can get much sooner into the market, basically before all the retail traders flock into.
Nice. If you have, and this is indicators free, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is
nice.
Free to use. So
nice.
If you want to go to my YouTube channel, I published a video on this one specifically today as well, where you find the links and everything, and you can use it free, but it's really crypto specific. You cannot use that for Forex. You cannot use that for gold. You need to use it on crypto perpetual futures. And I would suggest always try to choose the perpetual future on Binance, just because it's the biggest market and they have the best open interest data also there.
I'm going to link your new video in the comment section. You go in and check out Dirk's new video, but definitely go and check out his YouTube channel, which I have added as a pinned comment as well. So make sure you go in and check that.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
So yeah, open interest. It's definitely an interesting concept because and you're looking at, so it's the open interest in the perpetual futures market, right? And you're only looking at one exchange, I assume.
Yeah, you can, of course, like if you prefer something like Bybit or something, you can change that also. So Binance, Bybit, or OKX have that data available on TradingView. Binance updates the open interest, I think, every 3 minutes, so that's quite frequent. And probably enough for a lot of the stuff we try, to do intraday for crypto. And why not stick with the most liquid market by the end of the day?
Yeah, because the most liquid market, it's going to be a good representation of the overall market anyway. So you can definitely go with Binance or maybe Bybit as well. But I think Binance is probably good.
Yeah, Bybit should be also okay, but Binance is by far the most liquid place.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I saw you guys were also waiting like for long entries into Bitcoin. Or?
Yeah, no, I'm currently long on Bitcoin. I'm looking to trade this trading this range and use the reaction to this low time frame range, and because we have a level here where once we've come into this level, we've bounced. Yeah. And it seems like we're in this range, and I don't think we're going to be breaking down today. Do we have CPI? Is CPI today or tomorrow?
CPI is, I think, tomorrow. That's today.
Oh,
And it's coming in
shit, that's
49
not
minutes.
good.
But to be
Okay,
fair,
when is
I
it
don't
then?
think like the market is reacting that much anymore to CPI data. We didn't see like
Oh.
that huge of a reaction to the NFP also on Friday. And it seems to me at the moment, all that matters is what Trump tweets and not like the real reality of how the economics are going.
No, but I think this trade for me, it looks more like this is more of a low time frame trade. I'm executing this on 1 minute. So for me, if we keep, we got the CPI in 40 minutes. So if CPI comes out and it's going to be market moving event, I might just close this trade a little bit earlier. But yeah, it's looking good so far. So we'll hoping for the best here.
Exactly.
But if you look at the current market and your indicator, what is it? It's telling us. So the purple is telling us what?
Yeah, maybe if you change over to mine again, I can explain that a little bit.
Yeah.
So the indicator basically identifies 5 different patterns. The most easy one is that there's nothing really going on. This is when you don't see any color. Means like open interest price is within, what it's expected to do. Nothing special about this. And then you have 4 quadrants. The first quadrant, which is like the greenish purple one, just means we have open interest rising and we have price rising. That is like traders, price goes up and traders add still new long positions, open up new leverage long positions. You could summarize this with like, this is the trend being stable at the moment. And opposite of that, you can have red areas. Let me see for example, this here, which means open interest is rising and price is falling, which translates into there are new short positions being opened. And this usually happens after we went down for a little bit. And then suddenly, retail catches up and starts basically jumping onto the train. And then you have these areas that are purple. For example, we have one right now, and we had one, for example, here yesterday. This means price is going down and open interest is going down. And this combination means we see long positions forcibly being liquidated. So that's the situation, when you maybe, probably everybody of us who's trading crypto or Forex has been in that situation, especially in the beginning. You over leverage, you open a position, and then you run out of margin. There's not enough money on your account anymore to keep the position open. Then the exchange force closes your position. And when that happens, usually feels like a turnaround. You probably had this also, feels like you're liquidated, and then after this, the market suddenly turns around. And you are like left there like, oh, damn it, I got liquidated at the worst possible moment. Then the opposite of that is when we see open interest going down, but price still rising, that means short positions are liquidated. So a prominent example was what we saw here on, when was this, May 6th, for example. The orange candles down here, this is when short positions are liquidated. And here also, if we see like short positions liquidated, and when we come out of this liquidation phase, and then we see the first candle being bearish, which is the case here. Yeah, this is the first normal candle again. There's no background color anymore, and this one is bearish. This is a good short signal. See what the market basically does after this. It goes, continues going down. Now, sometimes you see like that in this case, immediately we went into long liquidations again, but we didn't break out of these long liquidations with a bullish candle, because in this case, it would have fired a long signal. But the first candle after the liquidations was still a bear candle. And that usually means that, the drag to the downside is not yet over. And so basically what I'm waiting for now is, first of all, because we are in a nice supported area here on the 50-minute chart. So I agree very much with you there. I'm waiting that the liquidations are over. And hopefully we're going to see a bullish candle then, because that would mean we have probably room to the upside again. And by the way, the strategy works like as a long only strategy on the 1 hour chart very well as well. So I back tested this, for example, on the 1 hour chart. With cannot use. Oh, sorry, I'm on the 50-minute chart. Of course, it doesn't work then. So if you trade this as a long only strategy, for example, on the 1 hour chart, it's like really, really good. Like with 1 to 3 leverage, this would have earned like 600% in 2.5 years. And that takes into account already trading fees. So I had like 0.05% half turn, so 0.1% round turn plus slippage as well. Which
wait, is this open source?
No.
No, of course not.
Sorry. It's just, for demonstration purposes that I want to show you, hey, this actually works, this is a solid strategy, but I'm not going to share every detail. But you have access to the indicator, so it's not magic, you can pretty much come to the same conclusions very fast.
So basically, what you're looking at here is you're calculating, you're looking at price and open interest, and you're looking at divergences between open interest and price. So you're looking at, okay, yeah, that makes sense. That's actually, I think, a really solid strategy. And because of the fact that we have a lot of this data is easily accessible within crypto, I think strategies like this is can work quite well. You're definitely giving me a lot of ideas. I'm gonna have a conversation with my assistant after this.
With Claude.
With Claude, exactly. So we can create some strategies based on this.
Yeah, sadly, you cannot have that for gold or Forex or something, because you cannot get this data, especially for Forex, because Forex is the decentralized market. So you would have to go to every investment bank out there and ask for data like this, which they are not going to give you. We have this commitment of traders report from the CME, but that's like, I think, updated once a week, if I'm not mistaken. So it doesn't really on an intraday level show you anything. There are some sources, I don't know how well they are, honestly speaking, but they also want to charge like $2,000 to $3,000 per month, which I'm not willing to pay, obviously, just to experiment,
Exactly, but I'm also thinking, you can look at the Euro futures market if you want to be trading Euro USD. You can look at the Euro futures and then look at the open interest for that. We have a comment saying Yesupi says what Dirk is saying, Claude won't be able to help you. I think people underestimate what you can do with Claude if you have the right prompts and you work with it in the right way. I think, if you told me like 1 year ago, what you can do now compared to a year ago is light years difference. It's just
it's really, and I get this, I sometimes get the feedback also, you push out those indicators, it's like all AI slop, which it isn't. I can also code this by hand, but I choose most of the time not to do it because it would take me like a month what I can do in a couple of hours. Otherwise, I of course review the code to make sure. By the way, right now, I don't know if you guys see this. There's a long signal firing, but we need to see this candle closing also in green. So as long as it doesn't close in the green, or it seems like liquidations are still going on, we're not going to get the signal. So we need to be patient and wait, obviously, here. But if like back to something like Claude or AI tools in general, if you see Anthropic in themselves, or also I saw, was it Airbnb? That said like, 60% of our code is now done by AI. We don't need software engineers for that anymore. That should tell you something, that you shouldn't miss out maybe on that. And, it's you cannot, of course, expect like, I do one prompt into ChatGPT, build me an indicator that makes me money, don't make mistakes, and that something comes out of that. Of course, you need to spend some thought also and sketch out, hey, I have this idea. Can you brainstorm with me if this is a valid approach? Okay, seems to be, let's make like a prototype for this, go back and forth. And then you have a chance that something usable comes out of that. Yeah,
I'm setting up with Claude right now. I'm setting up a system, and wow, I've been spending so many tokens on this. It's insane. So I've set up a structure where I'm using basically I've installed a few backtesting softwares on a PC, and then I've installed. I've given Claude the GitHubs and the installation files and everything, so it's actually installing all the applications for me and creating a structure where it's spawning a team of agents, and then it's coming up with hundreds of different ideas to test, and then it's automatically putting all of that in to 3 different backtesting engines, and then all of the results of that backtesting engine gets forwarded to a website where I'm actually able to see, and I'm going to show you if I can just get the dashboard up here, where every single strategy gets added to a dashboard. So let me share here, and I think you can see it here. So this is the dashboard, right? Now, what's cool about this is I have Claude Code installed on a server in the living room, and that runs Claude Code locally. And you can do a command that is /remote, and then you open a remote session, so you can control that session on your phone or whatever. So all I do is just click this one right here, and that automatically opens that session. And then within this, I have different projects, and I have each of these projects have its own project files, etc. So I have one main agent that I talk to, and whatever I tell it, it's gonna delegate tasks to this project. So it's gonna spawn an agent that's gonna work on it within this project. And if I show you the strategies tab, right, the database, the local database where I add all the strategies is right here. So this is all the strategies that Claude has found and tested locally within. So this is the local strategy database. And what happens is 4 times every day, it automatically, by a scheduled task within Claude Code, it automatically spawns a team of agents, goes through the whole database, looks at what's working and what's not working, and then creates new ideas to test, and it automatically gets added to this database. So it's just running and trying to find and develop strategies, and it's really cool.
Interesting. Yeah, that far, honestly speaking, I don't go. So I still want to have somewhat more control about what exactly is being tested, because I've done this work obviously for very long, like data science, for example, and testing algorithmic trading strategy, designing algorithmic trading strategy. And there are some traps out there that I know Claude likes to go into almost every time, where I know I need to manually intervene. Otherwise, Claude is going to do this or that mistake. I'm not going to share now which mistakes those are, because I don't want to give up my edge. But they are small mistakes which can lead to disastrous results. Like one example, for example, which I'm willing to share, is data. So with one prop trading company that I'm using, I found, for example, what I thought was a very good trading strategy on several forex pairs. And then I backtested this with Dukascopy, for example, first. Then I thought, like, hey, let's create an EA out of this and try this with the MetaTrader version. And when tried on the MetaTrader version, the results were completely different, because there are like little nuances in data difference. Doesn't need to be a lot, just little nuances, which make, especially if you have a scalping strategy, your whole strategy obsolete. So I would always recommend, like, backtest and optimize on the data stream that you are later going to use for live trading as well. Even within different brokers, like I tried, for example, IC Markets, Tickmill, totally different results, because they have this, like, sometimes just a couple of ticks of price stream difference. But in the long run, this kind of pollutes your data and makes your strategy lose. Or at least it's an gamble here.
Yeah, it's absolutely right. I mean, it's very difficult to find and you know these mistakes. But I mean, I obviously already know about these mistakes, and I know about like the normal mistakes that you do in quantitative analysis and like when you're creating these algorithms. So it's already baked in all the prompts and all the project files, right? So a strategy, for example, will never be confirmed profitable unless it has been shown to be profitable in all the backtesting engines and actually tested across multiple different data streams. So for backtesting, there's different layers, right? So first the first backtesting engine, if it's profitable, it goes on to the next one, and then the next one to really show if it's if it's an edge in terms of utilizing a market phenomenon or just noise. So Jester says, yes, you need to control and know every subtle thing. That's why I was doing manual and use Claude to work on small things, breaking it down so it can't take another turn. Well, I think so. It's all about the prompts. It's all about the process and what you have in the project files, and also you need to set up a system to make sure it doesn't hallucinate. I think hallucination is the single most difficult thing to get around in AI.
Yeah, absolutely, and like I remember, like the first iterations of AI, they also like to always take shortcuts. You know, to go like the lazy thing, like something doesn't work, and then it just assumed something to continue with the work. You know, it was always the premise, oh, I need to satisfy the user. I think the latest iterations are much different. When I look at what supposedly Claude Mythos, or how's the English pronunciation of the
Mythos,
word? Mythos is able to do, it's like well ahead of the curve. So I wonder when the public will get access to this. But you need to be basically a project manager nowadays. You know, if you're a project manager somewhere in a company, you also always need to make sure that your team, you know, is not going off the rails. And of course, if you don't specifically tell the team in which direction to head or what exactly to do, then you cannot be surprised if the outcome of a project is going to be not like you imagined or not the product you wanted. And it's the same here. So for me, it's always like dealing with a team of junior and senior developers when working with AI. And I want to make sure, you know, that they continue into the right direction.
Yeah, it's really, and it's very easy to get overwhelmed as well. And it's easy to kind of like just let it do its own thing. And then all of a sudden it's creating something very different.
Yeah, because you want to do like 10 things at the same time, you know, because you're so excited about it. And then a week later, you notice like, well, great, I did spend a lot of money on tokens, but nothing really came out of it because I didn't have it focused on one task.
Exactly. But, you know, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to at least have a project, like, you know, with Claude Chat, you can have all of these different projects within the chat, but you can't have that in Claude Code. So I'm trying to, but they're probably going to create this very soon. I
really only use Claude Code or for some normal research like the web application. I don't use like all this, what is the co-work stuff and so on and so forth. I don't really need it because you know, it's just me. Who am I going to co-work with?
Yeah, co-work is, you know, they created co-work to be like Claude Code for non-engineers, but I think it's pretty bad. You know, I don't really get it. It's like Claude Code with a better interface, but Claude Code still does everything. But it's I definitely think there is a long way till, well, I don't know if it's a long way. I mean, Mythos might be able to actually create a trading strategy that you might actually be able to trade, you know, maybe create alpha. And then what happens, you know, what happens with the market if that's possible? Like if,
by the way, we have a long signal now.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, so can you enable signal alerts on this indicator?
Yes, of course you can do that. Yeah. So
nice. I'm gonna do that.
So what am I here? Futures. I want to take this trade quickly here. So give me a minute.
Do you need any confluence with this? Do you need this to happen on a horizontal level?
Yeah, it would be. Of course, it's always better to have confluence. I'm just, for the sake of demonstration now, taking this trade live, just with 1-to-1 leverage though. So is the correct market? Here we go, long. Okay, I'm bought at. I got for a second. I thought I accidentally added a zero too much and bought for like $1 million, but luckily not. Yeah, 80,751 was good.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good trade. It's pretty much the same trade I have.
So that's
interesting.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. Nice.
Makes sense. But let's see. Probably it's going to be one. I don't think within this live stream today we are seeing the closing of that trade because, like I said, this is a 15-minute chart. And as you can see from the prior signal, the one from yesterday, it takes usually a couple of hours to play out, depending, of course, on how patient you are, that is. But yeah, let's see next time I'm back here. I can report then how this trade went, for example. But I like the area also here. I think this down here on the 15-minute chart is a really well-supported area. The only thing that could spoil the party now, of course, is in half an hour when we see the CPI data coming in. And if we see then, CPI being at, inflation being at 4% instead of 3.4%, that would for sure spoil the party. But that's always the truth, It's like, of course, like technical analysis, indicators can... In an environment that's like driven geopolitical or news driven, they are just a 2D solution for a 3D problem. So ideally you want to stay out of a market. I probably think also, like, if I wouldn't be here on the live stream right now, this is actually a signal I probably wouldn't have traded just because of the fact that half an hour we're going to see CPI. But anyway, I just traded 1-to-1. Should CPI be bad, I'm going to be out of this trade, especially if we drop somewhere below this area here of, what is that, 80,250, roundabout.
80,250. Yeah. What are you? Oh, all right, we got Boris as well. Hey, Boris.
Hey, Boris.
How you going?
Hey, guys.
Good to see you.
Can you hear me this time?
Yeah, I can hear you this time. Seems like I was able to find the right settings this time after a little bit of starting difficulties.
Awesome.
Dirk, I would like to ask, what are we thinking about the about Bitcoin here in the overall market? I haven't done any macro analysis for a while. I'm not sure if you've done that.
Bitcoin on, and what did you say in the oil market?
Oh, like just the overall market.
Well, the markets in general, they are weird, right? We just need to look at the Nasdaq, for example, which I think is the most prominent example. Look at this. So today's one of the rare days where we, up to now, have a red candle on the market, But who would have thought in a development like this? And I know a lot of people are complaining, how can that be? We have such a insecure, such an unstable geopolitical environment with everything that's going on between the USA and Iran, still with Russia and Ukraine continuing. We might potentially have China and Taiwan also adding to the mix. So how come we see prices like this? And I kind of think it's like it showcases really how much liquidity there is in the institutional sphere. Still from this decade or more than a decade of quantitative easing that we had through, especially the Federal Reserve, this liquidity needs to go somewhere. If you are like working within an investment bank, if you are running a mutual fund and you're a fund manager there, you have to show your clients that you're investing somewhere. And if you are a mutual fund for stocks, it's hard to explain that you missed out on something like this. It's kind of the same effect we saw last year already, where we had this V-shaped recovery. And this time it seems like the V-shaped recovery on steroids, which is insane. We have run from from the very low, which just was April 1st. It's not that long ago, right? We've run by almost 30% now, 29%. In stocks, in NASDAQ, this is a performance we would expect to usually see in 3 years or 3.5 years. Well, we've done this basically in 1.5 months. And for sure, there's going to sooner or later going to be a pullback. But the question is always, like what we saw in gold also, everybody's always waiting for the pullback. And when it finally comes, people are then again too afraid to buy into this. The truth is that the economy, especially in the USA, is still running very well, especially for tech stocks. So companies like Nvidia, like Apple, like Microsoft, they are earning tons of money. Nvidia alone, they have the quarterly results of them are higher than the whole GDP of small countries now. And this is also the difference, in my opinion, to what we saw in the early 2000s with the dot-com bubble. Back then, you had companies that promised a lot, but that were not earning money. They were just highly valuated because they had an internet page. It really was like this. I was there, guys. And nowadays, you have companies that already earn billions and billions of dollars every month, sitting at higher valuations. But they are not going away. This is not a bubble. Yeah, it might go down by 10, by 20, maybe by 30% even, but it's going to recover after this because there is no bubble to burst. The demand is there, especially when we look at RAM and chips, and the companies are earning a lot of money. Not AI-specific companies like Anthropic or Claude, they are burning through a lot of cash still, but the hardware manufacturers in the background. So, for example, predominantly, Nvidia. And if we look at, now picture has changed a little bit, but just a month ago, I was shown by a person that I do other live streams frequently with, because I had the thesis that I want to wait to invest again into US stocks until the autumn of this year. And he showed me actually valuations, said Dirk, look at this. Tech companies are historically at very low valuations, despite, the prices having for stocks having run up so much. But earning has also run up. So we are actually sitting at quite low valuations. I think this is a good time to buy into tech stocks again. And this is what I did 1.5 to 2 months ago. I started, for example, buying Nvidia again. So at around $170. And this is reality. We might not like it. It's unlike any market I've seen in the past 26 years that I've been doing this. And as traders, I think our task is to not force our wishes onto the market, but trade the reality. And the reality is every dip in risk-on assets, and I count Bitcoin to that as well, should be used probably to build up more position, because it's probably going to pay off massively long-term. That is being said, of course, there could always be a black swan around the corner. I don't know what, like a AI-designed super virus that destroys all the hardware, or aliens landing, or another pandemic. Although we saw also COVID, when it comes to the stock market, risk on assets was also very short-lived. Was also like a generational chance back then to buy into risk on assets again. Yeah, this is reality. And I think what we are front-running here a little bit, especially in tech stocks, is the narrative of that eventually AI will result in a massive push for a country's GDP. So it's going to make the work that we have to do manually and labor some right now much more efficient, resulting also GDP for a country. That doesn't necessarily mean that everybody's going to get rich from this, because unemployment is going to be very high. But at a country level, at a company level, it's probably sooner or later going to result in we are going to earn more with actually less money that we have to put into our product development and so on and so forth.
So it's like the rich are going to get richer and the poor is going to get poorer.
Exactly. Yeah. So eventually, I think we are going to come to a state where we need to think about new models of wealth distribution. And I'm a big advocate, for example, of something like the universal basic income, But however that would work, I don't know, of course, as well, but that kind of secures like that everybody at least has this minimum standard of living, that you don't go hungry and need to hunt for rats or whatever, that you have housing, that you have shelter, you have clothes, you have food. Stuff like this. I think we need to develop into that direction eventually. Otherwise, we're going to have a situation like that. AI and all the benefits of it's going to benefit the 1% that are already very rich and own most of wealth and assets in almost every country on this earth, and everybody else being left behind. But somebody needs to buy these products as well, no? So if everybody's poor except 1%, who's going to buy this stuff?
Yeah, it's an interesting future for sure. I also, it's such a difficult. I got caught on the wrong side, like not wrong side of the market, but I think I got back into the stock market this time. I remember the tariff, like back in the tariff dumps, like in last year in April, I believe, when Trump came out and said, we're going to put tariffs on all of these countries, including the penguins. I don't know if you guys remember that, but came out with a list, right? The White House came out with a list of like, these are the countries that are going to get tariffed. And like they had this one country with 10% tariffs, and that country had like the population of like, what was like 200 penguins or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, that I got, I sold the market and I got in way too late. But this time I got back in, like when the S&P 500 got back in, like reclaimed that range EQ, I got back in. But it feels weird. But of course, I'm gonna be long in market that is rallying and high momentum and bullish, breaking out. Of course, I'm gonna be long, but it's I have a why is Bitcoin not rallying? That's the issue I'm having with all of this, because
it is, no, it has been catching up very much.
It has. That's true.
Remember last time I was on the stream, I think we were trading like below 70,000. And I said, like, historically speaking, this should be a good opportunity to have like swing longs at least. I'm not going to say like this is the bottom for this bear market cycle already. I think that's coming in more like in October or November this year. But it's catching up. Not as great of a performance as the stock markets have, obviously, especially the Nasdaq. But we still have ways to go for Bitcoin until we, in my opinion, in territory again that is like a fair value. And so if we, for example, look at my go-to chart, logarithmic regression on Bitcoin, we are still trading below the green bands there. I know you probably have that also, Jonathan, right? I know you're using the chart.
Let's switch over to Dirk's chart, and maybe you can show that.
Sure. So that's this chart, which just it's a simple mathematical model, so-called logarithmic regression. You can find this indicator also open source and for free on TradingView as well. This basically just tries to explain in a mathematical way, is like Bitcoin basically overvalued right now, or is it undervalued? It's always undervalued when we are in the lower parts of the green channel here, or even breaking out to the south of the green channel. It's overvalued when we go into this non-colored area, especially if we touch the top there. And right now, we are still trading at massively according to this model, I have to say. Every model, of course, is always only good until the time it fails to describe what is really happening. But according to this model, we are still trading under. The fair price of Bitcoin, according to the regression, is at $131,000. That doesn't necessarily mean that we immediately have to go there, because we are in this phase of a market that is historically always a bear market. Yeah, we always, most of the time, reach the top after the halving, round about like 550 days after the halving. That was the case also almost in this time again. And then we have like 1 year of bear market. And so I wouldn't be surprised to also see still prices of like 60,000, 50,000. If something bad happens in the world, we could also go to 40 or 30,000. Doesn't really matter. But historically, every time we traded below this green band here. And the last time during the last cycle, that was when we had prices of 16, 17,000. And I know we mention it every time and on there. Remember, Jonathan, back when we were streaming, we said, hey, this is a good time to buy Bitcoin right now. Nobody wanted to listen to us because everybody thought like, oh no, it's going to 10 or it's going to $8,000. And it's a bit a time of this again. So even at prices like this, if I see it long-term, not for trading, not for scalping, obviously, but if I see it like long-term, if I see like, hey, where could we be like 3.5 or 4 years in the future, this should be still a pretty good price. So why not DCA, at a monthly basis, for example, into Bitcoin? That way you sometimes buy them more expensive, sometimes you buy them a little bit cheaper. And but overall, this should be, if this cycle continues, pretty good entries. And I know we had a lot of FUD also regarding quantum computing, for example, but we are not there yet. Quantum computing is a bit like nuclear fusion. Everybody always thinks, it's just 5 years around the corner. For nuclear fusion, we've thought this since the early 70s. And now in the year 2026, we seem to finally approach that nuclear fusion is actually possible. And I think it's kind of the same for quantum computing. Even if we had quantum computing, and quantum computing is such a danger for the encryption of Bitcoin as SHA-256, because it, in theory, could crack it within just a couple of seconds. But it's not just Bitcoin being encrypted with this algorithm. Our banking is also encrypted with this. So before Bitcoin would be cracked, probably your account would be hacked and drawn off. And if this happens, then we have other problems to deal with worldwide when thinking about cryptocurrencies anymore.
Yeah, I think, the issue I have with Bitcoin right now is there must be a, like, I'm the type of trader when I'm investing and when I'm trading, I'm just looking at the like I'm somewhere between. So remember now that I'm reading the CMT curriculum and preparing for that whole test, and they have an interesting distinction between a trend follower and a swing trader, right? Where traditionally we talk about how we have, you have the scalpers, they're on the lower time frames, that get in and out of the market, sometimes within under a minute, and then you have the day traders, they exit positions before the market closes, and then of course you have the swing traders, and as we know, those are the people that hold positions for days, weeks, over the weekend. But in the CMT curriculum, they talk about trend followers as being above swing traders, where a trend follower, they look at the market and they see opportunity in a trend. And they simply say, okay, I want to be long this market for as long as this is a uptrend. No matter what, I only care about this being an uptrend, and I'm going to stay in this market for as long as possible. And that is, I'm thinking about the opportunity of staying in the market. While they then look at swing traders and they say, okay, they are looking at the swings within this trend, if you will, right? And I've understood now that I can't really categorize myself as just a swing trader, because I'm kind of like more towards the position trading side with a trend followers type of mindset. So if you look at my screen here, for example, a swing trader on Bitcoin might, for example, take a trade down here and say, okay, we are now at the lows, we have volume increasing, all of that. I'm going to hold the position from this level, maybe up to the range highs, and I can hold it over the weekend, or maybe I'm gonna hold it up to this resistance right here. But that's like this perspective. You're looking at this local trend, and I understand that could very well be a swing trader doing that because you're holding maybe for a couple of weeks. But what I'm looking at is like this here, and I'm not really interested in this up move or that up move. And I'm not interested in this down move either. I'm interested in this whole move right here. So if I'm going to make a trading decision, it's going to be based on the relationship of these highs and these lows. And right now what I'm seeing is just very simply just one move to the downside with smaller ups and downs, and just one move. So what I'm not really getting from this market on Bitcoin is that the S&P 500, the stock market, and the international global stock indices, they are, very, very bullish, and they've been in the bull market for a long time and breaking out. But Bitcoin broke down end of last year, and I believe this must surely have something to do with some type of liquidity issue, credit issue, like something underlying.
I don't think so. I think it's the natural course of things. Correlations are always nice until they break down. That's why I always like to say correlation is not causation. And you have when Bitcoin is in a natural bull market cycle, which again I said, in my opinion, this is not going to be until probably October, November again the case that we start building up towards a natural new bull cycle, then the correlation is down. So when Bitcoin is rallying and the stock markets are rallying, obviously the correlation is very high. Right now we are in a segment where the correlation is not very high, and we've been there multiple times in the past as well. So it's just natural. But that being said, what you said is completely right. If you look at the market structure, like you pointed out, we are in a bear market trend long term for Bitcoin. We have a series of lower highs, we have a series of lower lows. And just by the looks, if I look like plainly at the chart that you are showing right here, my intuition would be, well, I wouldn't be surprised to see the next leg down now. If that is like going to be correlated to the stock markets because of some sort of event, I don't know, Donald Trump suddenly using a nuke on Iran or whatever could happen to further escalate the things that are going on there, it doesn't really matter. I want to trade what I see. That being said, like long term, according to my models, I think it's still a valid area to buy Bitcoin. Long term, I'm not really caring if partially I buy in for 80,000 or 60,000 or 90,000 because I'm DCAing there. If I'm more looking at a swing trading strategy, for example, this is exactly the area where I would look like for price action that points in the direction that we might go down again in price for the next 2, 3, or 4 weeks. That's the bigger picture. You cannot, it doesn't matter if you're scalping like what we're doing right now today here, because there's nothing to do with this. But I think it's important to always have the big picture also in the back of your head. And the big picture is, like you correctly stated right now, we are in a bearish structure at the moment, long term on the daily chart.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to understand. So I'm trying to understand, Bitcoin seems to be following cycles of it's just it feels like we're in a risk on market environment, and I don't really understand how Bitcoin can be in a bear market and us being in a risk on environment at the same time. I don't like that. That's the correlation that I don't really get, because Bitcoin is a risk asset. Okay, it's sensitive to liquidity, right? When there's liquidity in the system, assets like Bitcoin are usually the first one to start running, right? Which means it's also going to be the first one to break down. It's going to be the first one to fall once we see cracks in global liquidity and things like that. And there's like two camps here. One saying that global liquidity is decreasing and that the business cycle is, in its contraction phase. And then we have the other camp saying that AI productivity is creating this massive productivity boom, and companies are just going to be continuing to earn massive amount of money. And like you said, they can make more money by spending less money by the use of AI, and it's probably just going to become more like that in the short-term future and long-term future. So I'm thinking, okay, when will that spill over into other risk assets that are not directly involved in the whole AI race? Which means, when will AI benefit Bitcoin, basically? Because I think that's what's missing right here. Bitcoin doesn't care about AI, and that might be why it's in a bear market.
I think it's the natural cycle, really. It's exactly what we see every 4 years. 3 years of a solid bull market, although the third year was not that great, I have to say, so 2025. And then we have 1 year of a bear market. So 3 years bull market, sorry, and 1 year of a bear market. And it's exactly playing out like this again. So why, there's no reason for me to question as long as this is working out, to question or to think too much of why is this happening.
But that's what I'm trying to understand. I want to know the why, but that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like why? So because humans, okay, so we have the 4-year cycle, and the 4-year cycle is based on something, right? It gotta be human psychology. People buy, people sell because of fear and greed, etc. So are people fearful now, and that's why they're selling Bitcoin, but they're super positive and euphoric about the stock market? So I'm trying to understand, like, do people buy stocks now because of AI, and maybe they sell Bitcoin?
No,
because they're putting in the...
There's another component to this, to be honest, that we don't have with the traditional stock markets, and this is for Bitcoin miners or miners' pain, so to say. So if you look at what is the average cost to produce 1 Bitcoin, that is like, depending on which source you want to believe, somewhere between 78,000 and 84,000 US dollars. Now we are sitting at 80,000 US dollars. So for probably a lot of miners out there, it doesn't make sense to mine Bitcoin at the moment because, they are mining at a loss at the moment. So why should they do this? And this is also something we see during every cycle again, that at a certain point, miners switch off their miners' rigs and just wait it out until the price is favorable again, or the hash rate has gone so much down that the difficulty of mining 1 Bitcoin puts pressure on the price of Bitcoin as well. And when they turn the rigs on again, basically, what is different this time is that we have quite a number of large miners out there saying we're not going to turn on our mining rigs again. We are using our capacities, so our warehouses, for example, where we mine Bitcoin, to build AI data centers. So that's the big thing at the moment. And so for sure, that is partly maybe an explanation of the underperformance of Bitcoin that we've seen. That being said, however, hash rate for Bitcoin, so the computation power of a whole network, hasn't suffered that much. So as soon as it goes down, we have this natural element of adjustment in there, which is that the difficulty from mining 1 Bitcoin goes automatically down as well within the algorithm. So it becomes easier to mine a Bitcoin. So it evens itself out. I, for myself, have to say this is something I actually am quite fond of seeing because it means some of the big players might disappear from Bitcoin, concentrate on AI, which leaves more room for other smaller miners coming in, mining Bitcoin and diversifying the whole decentralized network even more.
Yeah, and it does make sense what you said, because I've seen a lot of, I don't know, like I think there was a company, but by the way, hi Anastasia.
Anastasia,
welcome.
hi.
Hey guys, hey, how are you doing? Very interesting conversation I'm joining. As always with Dirk.
Oh, thank you.
Oh shit, we got CPI in 1 minute.
Let's see if we get pushed out of our Bitcoin long now.
I'm gonna keep this one open. Okay, so we got CPI coming up in 1 minute. After the CPI, I gotta jump off. I gotta record a video and have a meeting, and hopefully I am gonna be able to jump in closer to the end of the live stream, where we're doing a massive giveaway. Now, looking
I will
at
have
the
to
likes
jump
right now,
out the CPI as well. So.
Okay, perfect. So, well, not perfect. I will miss you. Well, very nice having you on here, Dirk. We have 44 likes right now. If we can get to, we have enough likes, guys. We have enough likes. We're definitely gonna do that giveaway. So I'm just gonna be jumping as soon as I'm done with that meeting. I'm gonna jump back in, and we're gonna do that giveaway. Okay, so 1 second. What do we have? Let's see.
Seems to be
this seems to be a movement. Did the platform just freeze? No. Okay, do we have any numbers out?
3.8%.
2.8.
That's a bit
Oh,
worse.
3.8.
So it might be that we get pushed out of the position right now.
Oh, shit.
Not that much of a reaction, honestly speaking. No?
Well, I don't know about that. I'm losing money. That's enough of a reaction for me.
And we go into long liquidations again.
Yeah. Well, this is what you get for
gambling with economic data.
Yeah.
Guys, now you see how to not do it. And that's
So
a
what happened?
valuable lesson as well.
What happened with the CPI?
The CPI is
3.8% instead of 3.7.
0.1% higher than expected.
That's nothing. No. It's not a
Yeah,
big
it's
thing.
not a major difference. And if you look at core CPI is also a little bit higher than expected. We have for month to month also higher than expected. So
It's
overall,
going to be interesting for Kevin Walsh now. I mean, probably Trump is putting the pressure on him to lower interest rates, but with inflation like this, of course, the Fed is probably not willing to do that. I wouldn't want to change jobs with him.
nope.
I think Jerome Powell is probably also happy, that his mandate is ending and that he doesn't have to put up with Trump anymore.
Probably. I wonder what's gonna like. He's gonna get it. I mean, he's gonna stay on the board, obviously, but he's probably gonna get a nice job. Like
He's
he's probably
going
gonna
to
be
have
working
some,
for like
either going to join some investment bank or he does it like Janet Yellen, travel around universities, hold speeches there for a couple of $100,000. That's going to be a nice life for him. But I liked him.
It is. And he doesn't have to report every buy or sell he does on whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. I wonder what the Dixie is doing. This move right here. Let's see.
No, gold
we
is
got a spike
dumping.
to the upside.
Oh, good.
Yep.
XG.
XG back in the range. Of the Trump
not much of an reaction, was it?
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm going to keep this one open. I don't think it's a major reaction. I'm going to keep this one open and see if this level can hold. And if we break above I think what it looks like right now is we're probably going to retrace the dumps. We're probably going to come up and test the highs of this 1 minute. I'm going to keep this position open, and then it depends on what happens at that high. But guys, I gotta jump off. I got a meeting. I know Dirk is going to be jumping off as well. So Dirk, thank you for joining today. It's been a pleasure. Hopefully next time you join, we can talk a little bit about the macro environments. I would love to share some thoughts on that and hear what you have to say about the overall conditions for the next 6 months or so.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was fun and a pleasure and nice to see all of you again. And thanks for listening a little bit to my monologues about trading. And yeah, see you next time again. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thanks,
Dirk. Thank you.
It's always a pleasure.
Thanks, Derek.
Guys, make sure that you go in and subscribe to Dirk's YouTube channel. It's a pinned comment in the comment section, and there you will also in his latest video, we'll also see a link to his latest indicator as well. All right, guys, I'm gonna leave you with Boris, Ayush, and Anastasia, and I will be back a little bit later for that giveaway. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Take care.
See you. Bye-bye.
So, what are we guys thinking after the CPI?
Depends about what. Pretty much the same as Powell was saying last week, right? Because when he was giving his speech about about the interest rate and the statement about monetary policy and so on and so forth, he mentioned that he's still expecting the inflation to go higher, right? So he said that inflation most likely is going to go higher together with the oil prices, and he will stay as a member of the board to ensure that the interest rates can be still manageable, right, in the right way. Because obviously Trump does want, and for a while already wanted and expected the Federal Reserve to lower the rates. However, perhaps not with these conditions, On the flip side, also, like for example, if it comes to gold, for PAXG, for gold in general, at the moment we are right in the middle of the consolidation here. And I am probably going to stay away from this because what we see is that we are in the middle of the range. We are in the middle of this high volume node right here, right? We are in the middle of this. And we are kind of below the current monthly point of control. So normally I would be bearish on this now. And I had a bearish attempt to the shorting attempt earlier, which I received a small loss on. And at the moment, I'm waiting at the closes because I didn't want to hold it through the CPI. And at the moment, I'm waiting for the price to potentially maybe go down toward this previous area or continue to consolidate. But since we are right in the middle of the range, in my opinion, it's just not the best moment to trade right now anymore. So I'm gonna probably stay away from this. This is 4-hour time frame for gold, and if we look at the 30-minute, for example, this is 30-minute time frame, it's exactly the same. So we are below the monthly current point of control, and we are above the current weekly point of control. So we are in the middle of the two volumes. So there's absolutely nothing interesting for me at the moment.
Likewise, I was scanning through my watch list and I don't see too many swing opportunities. What I'm looking at on Bitcoin is, I don't really follow chart patterns that much, but TradingView is painting this rising wedge pattern, which is bearish chart pattern, and it's showing a target of actually 70,000 if you break down from here. Now, to me, this is actually looking like a double top attempt. So it's starting to look at double top. If we try to go above 82.5 and try to tag it again, it's starting to form like a lower high. So Bitcoin is not looking too great here for me, especially considering the ES is still going to the upside. So is the Nasdaq. So it's hard. I don't know about Bitcoin reaching my targets. I think what's likely to happen is I put on my drawing tools again. I think we might have front run this red ribbon. This is the 55 EMA. We're currently experiencing a bit of pushback from here, so I think this might have been the top at around what was like 83.5 last week, and we're gonna go down from here, and maybe we'll hit this target of this rising wedge on the weekly, which has us, the price of the rising wedge is around 46,500. So I think if we start to fall below 80,000, especially, we'll see pretty quick sweep down to 70. I don't see why buyers would step in at the 75 kilo, or just kind of like random. It's like the 70 to 80K region isn't very important to me, like on a long-term basis. And then for PAXG, actually I entered a long on the daily yesterday, and it's not looking great. I was looking at this resistance break, but now we're kind of like starting to go below it again. So I'm not a very good PAXG trader. I think I'm gonna stop trading this bit and just suck. I'll just go back to my Bitcoin. Aisha, what are you trading? I know, as always, you probably have a position on Doge or potential setup.
I actually took a really nice trade on Ethereum yesterday. I mean, today at 12 a.m. open. Yeah, as we discussed that we have this support area at 2321. If we close below, we can easily tap this swing low with the wick. And also right now we are getting good reaction from the support area, which is this at 80,700. So yeah, I think I got a really nice move, and after I think 2-3 weeks, I took a first trade on Ethereum.
So are you currently bullish or bearish on Ethereum?
I'm actually bullish on Bitcoin, not on Ethereum, because it is a weaker pair, so I'm not looking for anything for long specifically. But yeah, on Bitcoin, sure, my bias is bullish because we are in the support area of 4 hour and not entirely bearish right now. So yeah, bullish.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's interesting. What about Bitcoin based on your volume flow?
We actually tapped the low volume node at 80,700, same area as we had support, and we are actually near the point of control of weekly profile. And also if you look at daily, price is pretty much looking, I think, bullish. And if we close above point of control, we will easily reach till value area high of the weekly. So I'm expecting price to go till 81,549 if we close above the point of control, which is the current CPI candle we have. So yeah, if we cross that, it's going to be a good long on Bitcoin.
Interesting. Yeah, I see Bitcoin is pumping on the 15-minute. Let me go to AgriTrade. Yeah, so like I was saying to John, like the misprint of like 0.1% isn't a big deal. So after, we did have a small dump after the CPI print, but since then we started rallying, so we're back at 80,000. Current price 80,900. And order flow is actually pretty positive right now. So I guess this might be, initially it was a negative reaction, but now the market is starting to digest the news.
Yeah, it's usually because it's not such a big difference compared to the expectations and actual, that we have a rotation kind of like behavior after the CPI, because we had the same with gold, right? The gold was trying to drop before the CPI, now going slightly back up. Bitcoin similar. I don't think we're going to have massive reaction today before the New York opening, so I would say safer for any positions, especially intraday or something, to wait for the market opening first and then to make a decision, because on the market opening we might get some volatility, or it might be continue to be completely dead, which is also possible, because we are not so far from the expectations. Yes, it's a little bit higher, but it's kind of expected. That's also why the interest rate expectations for the next months, is not that there will be any cuts anytime soon. Hence, it's already priced in the fact that the inflation is going to be slightly higher, also based on the oil prices and so on. It's quite logical. It's not a surprise. So I don't think we're going to have any negative reaction anytime soon. Boris, you're muted.
Yeah, I'm wondering, we have like a similar reaction in gold. Yeah, so gold rallied also on the 1 minute time frame. So we had the initial dump after the print. Yeah, right at 8:30 Eastern, and now we're rallying so much, not much. Actually, like an almost 0.4% move was pretty big for gold. Here's how silver is like doing much better. Yeah, it's up over 1% since the CPI thing. Now let's get Bitcoin on the time. The Bitcoin went as low as 80.6. So about 0.5%. So Bitcoin isn't really doing much. Like, I don't think the this really affects the price of Bitcoin, especially on higher time frames. I don't know what this box is, but nothing important why I drew this. Oh yeah, I think this is the zone I was targeting if Bitcoin was able to break above 82K. But right now, I'm not too confident this move will happen to this blue box area. So I don't know. You know, it is interesting that crude oil, like, I know we can't trade this, but crude oil, I look as kind of like as a macro indicator, like what else is the market doing? Crude oil is up 3.5% today, at least the crude oil future. So looks like kind of risk remains elevated here. I think the tensions in the Middle East aren't done just based on the fact that crude oil is still going up. And we're not seeing rotation into crypto right now. It's still mainly focused on like equities and even I guess precious metals now. So there's not much capital going into Bitcoin. And I'm looking at the crypto bubbles today, very negative. But I really don't recognize any of these. Like the ones that are green, I don't know any of these except for INJ. But most of like
Pretty
the
much
coins you can
neutral.
trade, yeah, neutral to kind of negative. Like Jupiter is down -8%, and Rendar is down to 5%. Kind of a negative day for altcoins here. Yeah, kind of still a very ranging market. Not really conducive for swing opportunities. But I think this is great for scalpers. I mean, Ayush and Stage, have you been trading more frequently during this time, or like has this affected your trading?
First of all, I'm not personally a scalper, and then like there are still two different types of scalpers, right? There is a scalper who can trade inside of consolidation, I guess.
Mhm.
And because I trade personally, volume matters when you are in the trending direction. If the market is consolidating, there is not much to do, because usually the market is consolidating around the volume, inside of the volume area. So there is zero something to find if we are stuck in the range, because it means that the price is either reacting on the previous volume or it's accumulating more volume to break through the previous one.
Yeah. So even for you, it's just like kind of like not
Nothing completely.
not the best market.
The past 2 days, not the best.
How about you, Ayush? Do you prefer like a ranging or a trending market for your style?
So in trending market in crypto, and I'm okay with the range in NQ. I don't really care about the range on indices. But in crypto, I need good volume on 4-hour, which we don't have right now. So sitting on my hands and not really looking at anything, just a slow price action after CPI. Let's see what 930 does. And still really much like not sure about the bullish movement from here as well, because we have this wick on the 4-hour time frame, right? So we might get some bearish reaction from there as a intraday. So I'm expecting that if Bitcoin reacts from that zone, for shorts, we will see Ethereum at the monthly open. This is what my upcoming bias is for the NY open. I'm not bullish, I'm not bearish, I'm just waiting for price to give me some idea that in which direction it's going to drive. And if we close below this area 280 and we also get the reaction from this supply zone of Bitcoin, I'll go short on Ethereum because it's been the weaker pair, and I think it's 1:12 is gonna be a good risk reward here, but not right now. We need closing.
Gotcha.
Can I show you something, Boris?
No, I cannot. No, of course, go
Wait.
ahead, please. What do you want to show?
I drew you.
Mhm.
This is you. What do you think?
I mean, I
Does it look?
am.
You are very easy to draw.
I am amazed that someone would take the time to draw me. So I feel. I don't know what I feel right now. It's. I don't know.
Actually,
Best to describe.
I drew Jonathan as well, but I don't think so. It something
Oh.
looked like him.
Oh, come on.
It is Mike as well.
I think you could have drawn Jonathan better. But is this what you do in your free time? Like he draws?
That's what he's doing when the market is bad.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was doing, and I made this on stream, during stream.
Wow.
I could have
You're very-
completed it way before that, but you were keeping your hand on your mouth, so it was getting difficult for me to sketch. And when you removed it and started my work, okay, you have mustache as well, so I drew it.
Were you like an artist in your before trading?
Only
Good
if
art.
we are in range, or else not.
Oh, that's funny.
Like imagine going longs yesterday on PAXG, and after the daily open, we see this red candle, and that's was the really good call from Anastasia that I'm not going to do anything unless we see something, and we saw this at the opening.
Mhm.
Again, the reaction from this, I think it's a high volume node on the volume profile, and also I'm shifting from Ninja Trader to Motivave order flow because of the software issue they have, and pretty much good result. Let me add gold and show you guys. It's a very long pause.
I thought you're gonna show us something.
No, I'm still figuring out where to find it because I'm very new to Motivave.
Yeah, I'm waiting on for the market opening before I'm gonna take any trade.
Hey, Shafkat, were you bearish or bullish on Ethereum?
I am currently bearish
Me too.
because the volume on the 4R is really showing me nothing in the support zone on Ethereum. I'm expecting price to react from the zone and I'll go short. It's like
Yeah, and
when we
yeah. I just want to say, like, we're talking about Ethereum versus Bitcoin the past 2 weeks, and on the daily chart, if we can switch to my chart for a second, like Ethereum versus Bitcoin is starting to break down here. We're looking at this level, and it bounced off of it briefly over the weekend. Now we're having a very clear breakdown for me, Ethereum versus Bitcoin. So yeah, I think I was even saying yesterday I want to short Ethereum. And again, I never say what I do. I just speak it, but I don't do it. This would have been probably a good short to take on the daily.
But the best
yeah.
time to look for trades is daily open. I think what time it is in your current country you are in Bali at daily open?
Well, it's 9 p.m.
Oh, I think that's the best time for you to
Actually,
look
it's not a
into it
bad.
because-
It's not a bad time because it's basically the 12-hour candle in cryptoland, so it tends to be a very reliable candle. But if I were to wait for the daily, that would be 8 a.m. my time, and I don't want to wait for that. So I'd rather just trade the New York Open and go to sleep and then wake up late.
Someone is saying in the chat, Boris, check the general chat. Someone made a drawing of you. Yeah, I shared him the
Ayush, I think you're
screenshot.
muted now.
Can I hear him?
Yeah, now it's okay.
Yeah,
I just disconnected or? He's here and not here.
who's here?
You.
I am. I'm finding Boris' sketch, which was really cool. I mean, I don't know if the guy made it with the AI or it was the actual art.
Are you gonna? You should upload that picture to Discord. Just post it on the Discord channel.
That's what I'm thinking. Let me copy paste it on my chart. It was a really good sketch. I mean, it almost looked like a cartoon sketch. Better than mine. But I'll keep this one when Boris have some work to do. I'll keep him in the camera and the slot, so we don't miss him. I think it was in general chat, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, market is completely dead.
Yeah.
But we also do have a little bit later today the commentary, if I'm not mistaken, on the voting for the new Federal Reserve Fed chair, no?
Boris, it's for you, not for me.
I don't know. I haven't been keeping up with what's happening in the U.S.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
again,
yeah.
like, these.
So it's supposed
Yeah,
to
these-
be. Yeah, it's like U.S. Senate is expected to confirm Kevin Warsh as the next Fed chair. Yeah, it's supposed to be confirmed today. That's also going to add some volatility if something unexpected happens. So.
Look what I found. I found the image, Boris. Someone made. I think you're on mute
What did you find? A match?
on Discord. Yeah. That's very precise, I think.
Yeah.
How many points out of 10? I'll give it 8 points of what?
Pints of beer.
I don't know what's that. Points of
What's a measurement? So a pint is 500. Never mind. 500 milliliters of beer. Is beer
that
legal
went over
in
my head.
India?
Sorry.
Sorry.
What?
Is beer legal in India? I honestly don't know.
Not Not in my state, because where I
Really?
live is in Gujarat. Yeah, it's a dry state, but yeah, people drink more than
Wow.
the other state, because I don't know, I should say this on live, but it's banned, but people still have some sources to get delivered on their door. Yeah.
I didn't know. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna visit you. It just sounds like.
No,
What
no,
am
I
gonna
have
do?
I have a city near my house is around 27 kilometer away, where it is legal, and we have many varieties over there. So yeah, I'll take you there.
Okay. Yeah, please take me there, so I can have my mini pints up here. Yeah, I was looking at Ethereum dominance, and this thing is also just like flushing down. And I think we could see like a big flush in Ethereum, honestly. Yeah, I think if we break below, if we start breaking below like 2200, we'll see a straight flush back to 2000, and then I think like my ultimate target on Ethereum is going to be like 400. I think that's a good target. I'm looking for $400 Ethereum in this bear market. If my screen actually loads.
We are
I
at
can't
49
remember.
likes today.
I can't remember which pattern I was looking at yesterday, but it was showing a target of like something crazy, like 450 for Ethereum. I don't know how to make it show up. Yeah, I think there was this like Tradeify is painting a rising wedge pattern on Bitcoin, and then I think Ethereum had a similar pattern, but like maybe I have to go to an index that has more. See. Maybe just not complying today. The liquidation heat maps. We haven't looked at that in a while. Let's see. Well, I can see here we tapped this area of liquidity around 83,000, flushed down to 80. So we're basically bouncing between these liquid zones. So yeah, the key area for short liquidation is going to be like 82.5. And then
What is
like,
what that the yellow line we have is, what indicates the yellow line we have? Are those the orders or the limit orders?
It's like it's where the majority of the limit orders are sitting, no?
So it's like order book.
Let's actually read this. Well, basically maps out like liquidation levels or basically stop out levels. So it's basically where a lot of traders have their
Stop loss.
stops triggered. It also could be, a stop in the reverse area.
Mhm.
So that's why this could also be used as like support and resistance, because bigger or like a more sophisticated trader could place orders to basically like conditional order to short these high liquidity zones, because basically this is where like a lot of short liquidations are going to occur. So usually what happens when you trigger short liquidations, that price goes back to its equilibrium. So you can also use this as like support and resistance zones. But if it breaks like this liquidity zone, for example, at 82.5, then you could probably see a push high. For now, it's just like playing the range between these liquidity zones. Yeah, if you zoom out to the weekly time frame, it gets like very apparent. Like on the weekly, especially now, we have a large pocket of liquidity from 82 to 83,000 to the upside, and then to the downside, yeah, like 80K even. I think that's going to be a very key area.
So what is when you are going to actually break down your strategy? Because we have Anastasia doing the strategy breakdown tomorrow, I guess, and she'll join us on the second hour, if I'm not wrong.
It should be on Thursday, but let me just confirm this quickly.
So yeah, when, Boris?
I don't know.
No, it's tomorrow. Exactly, yes.
Yeah. So guys, if you have any questions related volume profile, or if you are trying to switch from candlesticks or order flow, tomorrow is a day you should join us and get some knowledge. And I'm also gonna ask a lot of questions related cluster candles. So I'm really excited, and also want Boris to do a session as well, so I can become a swing trader as well. I'm tired of trading on lower time frame.
My strategy is very complicated. It will take 1 hour to explain it.
Anyways, we don't have any problem. We'll listen to you for 2 hours.
Okay. So when I used to work, when I was working on site for a crypto exchange, I had an algo trader come into the office, and he was trying to automate my strategy. And I was like explaining it to him. He's like, it's so confusing. I can't code this. And then I kicked him out of it. Just wasting my time. I'm joking.
You should try it with.
Yeah.
You should try with us, and we have a lot of people. I think not us, but someone will understand in the live chat.
Maybe Claude will understand. No, I'm sure you guys will understand, since you guys are traders. But I tried to explain like a candlestick, a normal candlestick chart to my mother once. They're just like, and she doesn't understand what the green and red bars represent. So I don't know, sometimes it's very difficult to explain to people, like, what am I looking at? Like, I feel like if you don't understand what these green and red lines mean, like, trading isn't for you, like, no offense. Like, green means up, red means down.
Oh, you mean by the EMA band?
No, forget that. I'm just talking about the EMA band is probably very complicated. I'm just talking about this. Like, people do not understand the green and red candle. Apparently, it's very confusing.
Yeah.
Like, I met a person at a crypto networking event many years ago, and I said that I trade using Japanese candlesticks, and the girl goes like, "What? You like literally use Japanese candlesticks?" I'm like, "Yeah." And she thought like I'm literally talking about like candlesticks that you light up with a match. I'm like, no, like candlesticks. I don't know how to explain. This is like an institutional investor who works at a major asset manager, and she doesn't understand candlesticks. Anyway, guys, you have to. I think we should start with. We need to teach people candlestick mastery.
Yeah.
Some people use like,
I think
we can
that
go to like
today is
hike
the
and-
best day.
Oh, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I'm not ready for this.
No, do it. We'll cheer you, don't worry.
I'm not lecturing people at candlesticks right now. I don't even know. What are volume candles?
Candles with volume.
I learned something new today. Look how many different like I know Hikinashi, which is kind of makes sense to me. But then we have like Renko charts, right? Like, what the hell is this? Like, do you understand? I think I tried studying this once. I don't understand Renko. Do you guys understand this?
No, it's like just a mountain drawing for me.
Yeah.
And if you talk about Hikinashi, I really don't like the way they open. In Hikinashi, the next candle will open at the I think 50% of the previous candle. Like, that's really confusing because we can't see the real price like we do in Japanese candle.
I don't use them. You have point and figure. That is like a very old school style. I don't think Trading Group has this ability. Then there's so many ways to like represent data. I don't know what is this Kagi. Alright, so now all my I must have pressed something wrong because all my candlesticks just disappeared. Oh, okay, here we go. Okay, we have line break. Also looks like mountains to me. Kagi. What is Kagi? What is this?
EMA forced to be candle, something like that.
Really? What do you think about point and figure?
I don't think anything about this. Completely nothing.
Maybe let's go back to Japanese candlesticks. What is this?
Exactly. Oh my god.
I don't even know what this is. Time price opportunity. That sounds very interesting.
It's CPO, yeah, but that's very. Trading view shows it in a really bad way.
Okay, I'm just gonna go back to regular.
You're going to test every single one? Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, this is much better. Now I know what I'm looking.
So when you are starting, Boris, we're still waiting for you to explain your strategy. You took a turn over on candles and switched the topic entirely.
I believe I'm gonna explain my strategy on Thursday. Or Monday.
Yeah, on Monday. Or maybe the best we have is on Discord. Pretty much
maybe
chill stream.
Yeah, maybe I'll showcase it on Discord. Yeah, let's look at how's Animal Money doing. So Animal Money is down today. So this is like an index I created. So look at like animal meme coins. So Dog with Fat is down 3.5%. Pepe is down similarly.
So if
just not doing well.
animal market is bullish, then can we assume that less animals are being killed?
This animal
No,
market
we
is
can-
bullish.
We can assume maybe that the demand for killing animals is higher.
How did we go from like we're talking about candlesticks to killing animals?
No, I just had a doubt. Like, if it is bullish, then what it is, because you are really good at orange market as well. And
Should I bring out the live cattle futures? We can take a look. The live cattle is still looking pretty good, so I guess this means more live cattle are being killed. I don't know. What does it really mean? It's the price of live cattle is going up, so maybe it's more expensive for people to get live cattle. So maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't know what the correlation is here. Because I'm not an agriculture animal trader. I'm just crypto traders here. I'm curious, what was the ETF flows for yesterday on Bitcoin? Some was negative. Oh no. We had positive inflows yesterday. Biggest buyer was MSBT. Oh, Morgan Stanley bought 26 million in Bitcoin yesterday. That's interesting. And BlackRock sold 7.4 million Bitcoin.
sold.
Let's see what they did with.
They were buying from.
Yeah, well, yeah, let's go back. I mean, it's only 7 million they sold yesterday. But keep in mind, they bought like 335 million the previous week in one day. So overall, it seems like the ETFs are in a holding pattern.
And yeah, guys, make sure to hit the like button, because Jonathan's going to join us soon and he'll be doing the giveaway. I think the account size would be 25K, one step. So Boris, I think if I'm not wrong, BlackRock was buying Bitcoin from last many weeks. Why they are selling it right now?
I mean, they're not. It's just one day of data. It's only 7 million, so could be just customer redemption. So keep in mind, these are. It's not necessarily BlackRock that is selling. If a customer gets a request to sell their holdings in the ETF, then BlackRock has no choice. So it's not like BlackRock is some like elite entity that decides what to do with Bitcoin. It's up to their customers. And it's up to their customer demand. So I think people get a bit confused sometimes. Like the IBIT ETF, it's not like literally BlackRock buying it directly. It's from their clients' orders, basically. I really don't think BlackRock is that interested in Bitcoin. They just created this product, make money, because they charge like a 0.25% fee to basically hold your Bitcoin, where you can just, as crypto people ourselves, we can just hold Bitcoin for 0% fees. Like, why pay someone?
Wait, they're charging for holding your Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's a custodian fee. So
And
0.25%.
yeah, and people do it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess a lot of people are not sophisticated enough to hold Bitcoin on their own. And the Grayscale Trust, they charge a 1.5% fee just to hold your Bitcoin. It's pretty crazy. So Grayscale, for those that don't know, that before ETFs came out, there used to be a trust called the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, and they had the most assets until the whole ETF thing for crypto was approved by the SEC like a couple years ago. But it's funny that they're still charging 1.5% when all their competitors are charging 0.25%.
That's crazy though.
Yeah. So you can imagine like so BlackRock holds like 66 billion. And yeah, 66 billion. Wait, not 66 billion Bitcoin. 66 billion assets under management in Bitcoin. So $66 billion, they're charging 0.25% on top of that. I'm not sure. I think that's a quarterly fee. Double check that.
Guys, look at Ethereum and Bitcoin coming lower.
Oh shit.
That's why it was too early for longs. Still assuming that we might go lower after the 9:30 open. So if we close below
Yeah, let's go.
after 9:30 on Ethereum. Okay, I think I'm sharing my screen. Yeah.
So yes, you're still
So
bearish.
still
right?
want. Yeah. But we have the support area at the 2280. If we close below, I think it can go lower easily. But I feel instead of Ethereum, Bitcoin is showing more interest in the downside. So we can get some scalp. Let's see what we get in 9 minutes, 8 minutes.
Yeah.
And I think the NY Open will take us lower on the Bitcoin and Ethereum. And if you look at gold, don't you think Anastasia it can go more lower? Because we got
It's
good
still
reaction.
it's still ranging. I'm waiting for the market opening because it looks like it's trying to go lower, but it's just creating a week, and we have more volume coming in this week as well. So I'm not. I don't want to judge it before the market opens, to be fairly honest. Like, it's not one of the situations when I'm like, okay, you know what, I'm sure that it's gonna, like, more sure that it's gonna this side or this side. You know what I mean? So. Yeah. We'll see.
We can't take order flow. Yeah, very negative now. It was positive initially, so it looks like we're back to the CPI lows. Just looking at the lower time frames here. Yeah, we're 7 minutes away from the New York Open. I'm curious what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I think Bitcoin really starting to look weak here. If we break 80K today, I think we're going back to like the upper 70,000. How long can Bitcoin just like stay around 80K while there's a NASDAQ and S&P 500 are going higher? It just doesn't make sense to me that there would be a bullish impulse on Bitcoin at this point in time. I think the chance was like last weekend. It's very weak momentum right now.
To be fairly honest, there is a saying that goes like, the price can continue to go, and then you can say up or down or ranging longer than we are able to pay for it. So it basically means that it can continue what we are not expecting for much longer than our account is able to fight this, So.
Yeah, I think, it's like the market can be irrational for way longer.
Yeah, in a matter of fact, anything can happen in a matter of fact. So we'll see.
I'm thinking, I'm not really a big fan of chart patterns, but I think they're pretty popular in crypto. Like these wedge things, they tend to play out. So I'm curious if we'll actually hit this target. This actually doesn't seem out of the question here. Because yeah, I could see us going to 70K if we break this wedge pattern. You know what? I wish we could get. Do you guys know Peter Brandt? He's a very famous, old school style trader. He's like an expert in chart patterns. I'm curious what his take would be on Bitcoin right now. Try to pull up his maybe his X account. Oh.
I'm gonna join you guys back in just 2 minutes.
Okay.
Yep. Look at Bitcoin. Think it can reach $80,000 and $100 today before Ethereum. It is looking much weaker than Ethereum.
Yeah.
So it might reach
you're
before.
Saying it looks weaker
Ethereum,
than?
Yeah, on internal or lower time frame, I can see Ethereum, Bitcoin is showing more weakness than Ethereum for lower prices. Let's see how this candle closes in 3 minutes. I think it's good to go till 8011100.
Yeah, it's a pretty bearish candle. I'm looking at the 30-minute time frame. I don't know why I had this. I guess I had this 81,000 level drawn out and we rejected from it. I think if we break below here, I could see 80K. See 80K happen.
80K today? Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see Ethereum. I don't know why it's not loading. Maybe we can go to your screen while my trading view stops.
Yeah.
Such behavior.
We are on my screen already.
Honestly, I think they both
we
look
are
pretty
marked
bad.
for 2 minutes.
Well, actually, they both look kind of bad to me, to be honest.
On lower time frame?
On the 30-minute, like I could see these wicks on Ethereum, like there's some buyers at 2275. I mean, I don't know. I feel like we're basically at support on both on lower time frames. Like I don't know. I wouldn't be like shorting this consolidation here. The real short would have been after we broke this level. You know, if we're just looking at normal supply and resistance. I mean, supply and demand zones. Yeah, Bitcoin dominance is thinning. You know, Bitcoin dominance is still pretty elevated. So, talking about this last week, I saw this whole graphic drawn up. So when Bitcoin dominance goes up, that's bullish for Bitcoin, bearish for alts. And when Bitcoin dominance goes down, that's bearish for Bitcoin, bullish for altcoins, and right now what we're seeing is basically nothing. Bitcoin dominance pretty much just stuck at this level. So usually what happens when Bitcoin dominance consolidates is we see some rotation into altcoins, which actually did occur. Like last week we had that nice rally in Doge, and then also BNB and SEI and coins like that. Also like Zcash had a nice run. I wonder how it's doing now. I don't know. What are your thoughts on Zcash long term, Ayush?
Zcash long term. Let's go on Zcash.
We're short term. It's a very popular token or asset to trade with.
I think it's on higher time frame. It's pretty much very much bullish, but in range right now, so we might get some retrace back into the range at the for 500 or 480 and continue moving higher. That's what I'm looking at. I think and Zcash also don't follow the correlation, right? It does the own thing. I think it's not necessary that DAO should follow the Bitcoin movement.
No, it's not necessary. I mean, if you look at, we can compare it. We can do Zcash versus Bitcoin. Let me try to pull this chart up. So if you look at Zcash versus Bitcoin, obviously it's been outperforming Bitcoin over the past few months. But interestingly enough, it's almost like a double top on Zcash versus Bitcoin. Like it's almost a perfect top here. So maybe we've seen the high on Zcash right now. Because remember, the high was back in November at around $750. So we're just falling short of that. So we'll see. I don't know. A lot of people are saying like Zcash is very good for privacy, but I don't really see too many people using it.
I think, and also many people traded on lower time frame as well because the low commission. It is good
Really?
to trade on 5 minutes. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people on Discord trading.
So what
See if you can
does
push lower on.
Yeah, what's your volume profile analysis saying on the 15?
On the 15, I wish I had the screen, but it looks weird right now. Candles are not. So wait, let me share the. Yeah. Yeah. So I know it's looking bad right now. I know where the candles went, but it should be good on 15 minutes. That's the reason why I'm switching on different software instead of MMT. So yeah, so we are below the low volume, value area low, and also I think if we accept this 76 order which we had and convert it into resistance, which was underwater when a big player placed the 76 order, price went higher, and you can see the 91 order getting filled. So expecting that we should go lower by looking at the volume bubble, but to still need Ethereum to go lower. So you guys can see that the reaction. Okay, now let me switch back to trading view. So if you guys can see that we are getting reaction from this zone, and also that is affecting Bitcoin as well. Once we close lower, this will Ethereum will also drive lower till monthly open, and so does Bitcoin as well. So watch it happen. That's why I always treat the swing low wicks of Ethereum and Bitcoin as supply demand, so you can see that it's moving now, as explained on the on the MMT chart, that we have some sell volume coming in, and if the price accepts those orders and close below this support zone, then we'll go lower. This candle should close. We have 9 minutes. Let's see if it goes lower without us, or Boris, you're on mute.
Oops, I'm always on mute. I was saying.
You said a lot of stuff.
I was saying I'm looking at a 30 minute, so a bit of a higher time frame than your 15 minute. But if it closes like this, especially below this wick, like 2278, then I think I'm gonna have a flush down here on Ethereum.
Yeah.
Like from your position, would you be like long or short from here? Like let's say this closes like this.
I'm trying
What would you
to
be
short
doing?
the Ethereum. Oh, see, that's what happens when you. So it should go till monthly open, as we discussed in the before when the stream started. So yeah, at monthly open we might get some good support. So I'm still expecting that we can easily melt till monthly open. And Bitcoin is also trying to match the momentum. Let's see.
What was the monthly open on Ethereum?
It's near 2256.
256.
That's where we might get a support. I'm not really saying that that's the best area to buy, but that's the area where we should look closely that what's like mainly I see reaction at the opening prices, so I be careful.
I mean that'll be a 1% move from this price point,
Yeah.
so it seems very possible. Like 1% in Ethereum in a day is nothing. So you're saying, do you think if we test the monthly open, would you be a buyer from there? Like maybe.
Yeah, obviously, but you have to wait for the confirmation, and if Bitcoin is something showing us the same reaction from the different supply support zone, then yeah. And that's something I'm working on, the correlation. Whenever I see it in the correlation, I always try to make sure that I look at both pairs higher time frame key zones. So it's not always going to be one pair dominating the trend, but most of the time I've seen the opening prices on both pairs have a reaction on each other. So let's say if we get some reaction on, let's say, Ethereum monthly open, you will see some sort of price bearish slowing down, even though if we have nothing on BTC. That's the most of the time I have noticed this. So that's why be careful near those areas.
So can we put like limit orders to monthly open and go along from there? Or do you think that's not a good idea?
Yeah. So this is the best way to trade if someone is if you want to try to be a trader who catches the buy from the bottom and sell from the top. The opening prices and the wicks of higher time frame can give you really good momentum, especially the 4-hour wicks. That 4-hour swing low wicks where we get really good movement. So yeah, I
What about
actually tried it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Bitcoin, a 30-minute candle is going up, while Ethereum it's in the red. I mean, it's like Bitcoin is showing a bit more strength here. And look at even Ethereum versus Bitcoin in 30 minutes. It's clearly breaking down here.
Yeah.
I think I might go short on Ethereum. I'm gonna see how this 30-minute candle goes.
So you're trying to take an intraday trade,
Maybe.
but we need a closing below the support area. We're just getting some reaction from there.
I don't care. I'm just so bored. I want to be in a trade, and I'm gonna go short. I'm not waiting for it.
And what are you shorting,
Yeah,
Boris?
of course,
Ethereum.
possibly.
Now you're saying possibly. You said you did go short.
So I don't know what else to do. I'm so bored with this market. Sometimes you just have to just put a trade on. Just keep your excitement going. Yeah, I do like how Bitcoin is showing strength here, but for Ethereum is going down while Bitcoin is going up.
Same thing we have in
there.
indices. Look at the SPX 500 and Nasdaq. One is going down, one is going up.
That's interesting. Wow, that's cool.
Very weird. Yeah, it's not
Makes
cool
sense though,
actually, but
because I mean, because the Nasdaq is a tech sector, so could we say that Bitcoin is the Nasdaq and Ethereum is the S&P 500?
yeah,
It's always going to be lagging. Like Nasdaq is on. What the thing with the Nasdaq is that I don't know the exact statistics, but most of the market cap is made up of like the top 10 companies, right? So it's made up by Nvidia, then Apple, then I don't know, or the big Amazon, right? Or the big four right now. So they really drive the majority of the index, and also to a degree the S&P. Here's how's the Dow Jones doing? I haven't looked at index in ages.
Yeah, me neither.
Like
For those.
YM, let's see how's YM doing. I'm just curious. Oh wow, it's very weak. I mean, relative to Nasdaq and S&P. It's not making new highs on the daily. How's the Russell doing? I bet that one's doing awful. Oh no, Russell's doing pretty good.
Have you ever traded Russell?
Honestly, never.
Sorry?
Never.
Never. I used to trade Russell when I shifted from Nasdaq and S&P because it was a little bit more structured, less volatile, more companies, it was more balanced, and so on. So it was a while when I was trading Russell quite actively, actually, together with the rest of indices, as a hedge, kind of.
Yeah, no, I'll just trade Nasdaq, sometimes S&P, and yeah, like gold and silver. But something the Russell was too difficult for me to understand. And I would even trade like the Aussie dollar, so the AUD. versus US dollar. I'll basically trade everything. I wonder how that's soon. I think Bitcoin's going to fall from here, really, back down to 78 today, and then
Today, you're expecting 78.
yeah, I just don't see any momentum here to. I'm not seeing any momentum in Bitcoin. 80K is a very key level, like we were talking about. There's a big amount of liquidity there, so the longer we hang around here, like look, we bounced off of it earlier today.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of potential liquidations we can trigger here, so I think the bigger players are going to try to push price back into this area, and if they actually can break the zone, then yeah, the next I guess liquidation cluster is right around 78.5, and then from there, that's zoom out to a higher time frame. Yeah, there's a lot of liquidity here, and you can see how it's being used as support. So you could say there's some people protecting their positions here and trying to keep price above 80K, but it's starting to look like they're really struggling because the bounces keep getting lesser in strength. So I think, yeah, if we can get above 81K today, then breaking 80K would make the most sense. But we'll see. Yeah, the 30-minute Ethereum candle looks pretty bad. I think I might short this in about 13 minutes. And then my targets would be 2268, 2259, then 2251. Actually, we're breaking down so much here. This might be too late to think. Ethereum. Oh, Bitcoin was just rejected by this candle here in 30 minutes. I don't know. And then if I go to the crypto bubbles on the hourly, in the last hour, everything is down. So, except for a few points, but overall, looks like bearish reaction is the CPI, bearish reaction to the New York Open so far with crypto. And for the record, I'm not in any swing positions right now in crypto. I'm actually in a long on PAX-G. We'll see how that goes. I think just
You're
like
in
my
a loan
last.
you're in a loan for PAX now?
Yeah, I actually put this position on yesterday. It's still valid. It's. I don't know why I put it on. I think just I wanted an active position to be put on. Oh, I forgot. I'm also in a TRX position. I'm short on the 4-hour. I think I was asking Ayush about your opinion on this. Oh, but so far this one is looking good. I shorted it. So basically my thesis for TRX, pretty simple. was basically using this 21 exponential moving average as support since April. Not April, I mean since late April. And then once we broke below it and retested it earlier today, I went short like right around here, like right near the moving average. And I know it wasn't like a perfect entry, but like I'm not really looking for perfect entries. But yeah, looking for targets back down to like wish list. Yeah, I think we could go back down to like 35 cents and then 34 cents. I don't know why, but I really like trading TRX. It tends to obey TA rules like pretty well. But sometimes it does like some wild things. Also, it doesn't have a lot of volatility relative to Bitcoin and Ethereum. So it's actually one of the more stable altcoins out there. And what's fun with TRX is that you can use a lot of leverage. Just like the one coin, which it's actually pretty safe to go like 20x, 50x leverage, and will probably be safe. How many likes do we have today?
Good question. I'm stuck a little bit on PAXG because I'm considering shorting it or not shorting it now. So I'm a little bit like kind of doubtful on that double because we rejected basically the weekly point of control. This is a monthly point of control. It's trying to close below it. We look at 15-minute candle, so basically 7 minutes until the closure. At the same time, obviously, we are still inside of this range.
Yeah.
You know, so double on this one as well. But if we close below this, I am considering maybe shortiness. What do you guys think about the short on PAXG?
Well, I think I am long, so I hope your short idea doesn't work out. But I mean, which time frame? 15 minutes?
It's 15, 5:30, doesn't really matter, to be honest. Yeah, basically I'm waiting until the candle closes below this volume, so probably basically the 15 or 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's like too close to call for me. Like I would want, like for my personal style, I would want the closure below, like the wick on the left. Like basically, yeah, I think, yeah, basically if we're looking at PAXG below this wick at 4673. Because for me, this looks like it's kind of like consolidating. For now, not enough sell pressure. Wish I could see the order flow for PAX, like we can see for Bitcoin. But for Bitcoin, it's more red than green, is what I can see. I see how much open interest there is in the monthly. And I'll open
Are
interest
you
for
trading
ways and
anything now?
since on you.
Ayush, are you trading anything now?
My shares.
Ah,
Am I audible?
yeah.
I'm just looking at Ethereum going lower without me. I feel the wick. It is following exactly what we discussed.
Yeah.
But I don't think so. It's going to be a good shot. It's just a very small RR trade.
Mm. What? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I would like to see a pullback. It's like too late, too short for me. It's like a pretty big candle on the 30 minute for Ethereum. So like basically I would want to see a pullback. Basically something, yeah, pullback back to this range at 280, maybe 2300, right? And then from here I would short something like that. I wouldn't be shorting here. It's like too exaggerated of a move. Oh, Bitcoin's looking ugly.
Everything is ugly today.
Except for us.
Look at it.
We're
Yeah, I'm probably gonna short PaxG in just a couple of minutes when it closes below the monthly point of control.
oh.
It's also at the weekly open, so yeah, it's a good potential short.
Yeah, this is weekly, this is monthly, so we are coming below the monthly after rejection of weekly. Like as long basically as we stay below this zone and the candle finally closes like strong bearish, because the difference is that the previous 30-minute candles before we were closing still above the volume. And this one was closed on the volume. So at the moment, because we are closing like under the volume, this is the reason I'm looking for the potential short, because it's the first time that the candle is actually trying to, on the 30-minute, on 1 hour to close below the actual volume that we have, so that's also the reason I'm actually considering shorting it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, now looks better to short. So I think everything went down like at the same time. Bitcoin, Ethereum, PaxG, gold. Even the S&P is dropping. I guess Nasdaq is dropping. Yeah, everything looks the same. Like if you look at a 30-minute chart. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna get stopped out on PaxG.
You are in the long already.
Well, it's a daily long, so not on the short-term time frame, but yeah, not looking too good. I mean, we have 1 minute left. My thesis for being long on HG was basically, yeah, we had like a nice break above this range at 4,700. So I thought we could target this range at like 48 or so. So far, my stop's like below this 55 EMA and below the wick of yesterday. So still safe, but we're getting very close to like breaking this structure. So
We are waiting for you.
if that happens,
Yeah.
huh?
All right, here we
And I
go.
will stop talking now that challenge.
Here we go. I can. Oh, there we go. That's Boris.
Hey, Jonathan.
Hey. Okay, so we're gonna do a giveaway, guys. In the comment section, write a 1. Let's go. Write a 1 and get 2 minutes. Get 2 minutes. We're gonna do 2 giveaways. Gonna do 2 giveaways. Yeah, I'm gonna share it shortly. Let's see. I'm gonna mute this as well because this horrible sound. All right,
Yeah,
one.
I'll
Write
love
a 1 in the
I love the
chat.
duck sound.
You love the duck sound. I hate it. Stupid.
This reminds me
I
of
don't
duck
have it on
ragu.
anymore.
Do you remember
Duck
that?
ragu, yeah. I do remember that. I was in town weekend and I went to an Italian restaurant and they did not have duck ragu. They had ragu though, but not duck ragu. So I said,
What?
"You guys suck." Yeah. Yeah. All right. So let me see if I can find the chat. I just closed everything down here when I joined that meeting. So let's see if I can find the chat. Do we have anyone in the comment section writing a 1? Yeah. Oh, we got a lot of ones. A lot of ones in here. So today we're gonna give away 2 accounts. And by the way, for everyone who joined yesterday and won an account, you still have to add your email to the YouTube channel. Okay, so very important. Add your email to the YouTube channel. Otherwise, you're not gonna get your account. And also make sure they go in and follow Dirk's YouTube channel. Okay.
Yeah, okay. I was in a short for packs and it closed on break even finally. I moved solos to break even very fast because it was not it was still ranging. So it's this for today.
Yeah, it got quite volatile there after CPI. Let's see. All right, let's go. We got the list here. See,
And 10 as well.
yeah, we got. Okay, so I'm gonna do the first one here. Okay, and the ones who are late in, you'll get entered into the second round. So everyone who writes a 1 in the chat gets added. If you write 2, you get banned. Only 1. You gotta write a 1. You only have to write once. Just waiting for the list to be generated here. It takes a little while. Not sure why it's taking so long.
Status.
All right, we got the list. We got 34 people in the first round. All right, let's go. Let's do 30 seconds. And we're set. All right, let's go. This is for a 25K two-step account. 25K two-step account. And the next one is going to be for a 10K one-step. Let's go. Oh, look at that. Look at a bear duck. Let's go.
It's
Wait, is that you?
me. Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, so what do we do now?
Double it
Up to you.
and give it to the next person.
It's your call. You give it to the next person. You don't want this account.
No.
Okay. I would have definitely taken it. Okay, Ayush, we're going to start again. Ayush doesn't want an account, so we're going to give it to the next one. All right, here we go. Oh, it's a COVID. It's COVID duck. What? You won an account yesterday. Damn, man. You won an account yesterday. This is your second account. Holy shit. Okay, are you here? Let me know in the comments. Are you here? Get 1 minute. 1 minute, guys. We gotta wrap this up. You got 1 minute. Let me know if you're in the comments. You got 1 minute to claim your price. If you can't claim your price in time, no. Yeah, you're here. Okay, good. Perfect. Now I'm just gonna see, do you actually have your email on your, yes you do. Perfect. Okay, you're getting a 25k two-step. Beautiful. All right, next one. Now we're doing a 10k. No, wait, we get a new list. We get a new list because I promised that we're gonna add more lists. So add more names. So we're adding more names. Okay, 49 people now. Let's go. Here we go. Man, you won 2 accounts. Did you get the account from yesterday? No, yeah, I don't think you did get the account from yesterday. All right, let's go. Cool Wick. Ah, Boris, really? Is Boris going to win this? It looks like Boris is going to win this one.
Oh my god.
God damn it, Boris.
Oh, yes.
All right, what do you want to do with this one? You want to take this for yourself, or you want to give it away?
He's thinking.
Yeah, he's thinking.
Well, let's give
It
it
is a
away.
one-step account.
Yeah.
It's pretty good, you know. You're gonna keep this, right?
I want to keep. I want to keep it, but also, I don't want to be greedy. You know. How about you guys vote for me? What should I do?
Yeah, you should give it away, definitely. Okay, let me know in the comments, guys. Do you think he should keep it or give it away?
If I keep it, I'll give you guys some of the profit sharing.
Okay, you'll keep this one, but we'll need to give another one away then. And the greedy Boris. He calls himself Trader Boris, which I think we need to change that name. Greedy Boris. The greedy trader. All right. Let's see who's gonna win a 10k one step. Let's go. Yeah, Jesus Christ, Boris. Ayush, like, he didn't even bat an eye. He's, yep, we're gonna give it away. Opportunist 7. Let me know in the comments. Are you there? Let me know in the comments. You got 1 minute to claim your prize. Otherwise, we're gonna give it to Boris. All right, Opportunist 7. Are you in the chat? Let me know. And guys, make sure that when you're participating in this giveaway, make sure that you have your email in your profile, your YouTube profile. Oh shit, there's 30 seconds to claim your prize. If you know, 30 seconds to claim your prize. If you're not in, man, I don't have time for this today. I don't have time for this today. All right, guys.
One more.
Okay. All right. He's here. Perfect.
He's here.
Perfect. Let's see. Do you have your email on your profile? It looks like you potentially have that. So let me. I just gonna go through this verification. You know, the CAPTCHA verification takes me forever to do all of this. All right. So the emails have been collected and the emails have been sent out. And guys, that's it for today, guys. Thanks everyone for joining. And I believe tomorrow we're gonna have Anastasia talking about order flow, volume profile, I believe, and maybe a little bit about footprint charts, right?
Yes, it's tomorrow, guys. It's tomorrow. So join back. I have something very special for you, and we're preparing also something with Jonathan on the side. So you guys are gonna be very excited.
Yes, it's gonna be really cool. All right, guys. Thanks everyone for joining here today, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Take care.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye, guys.
Thanks,
Bye,
guys.
everyone.
See ya.